good though? All right. Matthew chapter 18 is where we're going today. Matthew chapter 18. In the name of the Father, Son, and blessed Holy Ghost, we pray. Amen. I'm ready. Matthew chapter 18, verses 15. It looks like maybe 15 and 17. Work with me. Matthew chapter 18. 15. I'm looking at beginning at verse number 15. And I'm not quite sure if I'm going to go all the way through 20 or if I'm going to just do 15, 16, and 17. But it is the gospel according to St. Matthew, the 18th chapter, beginning at verse number 15. Can I read it to you? Here it is. I'm reading from the New Living Translation, and it reads thusly. If another believer sins against you, go privately and point out the offense. You see that? If the other person listens and confesses it, you have done what? You've won that person over. But, there's a conjunction. Look at somebody, say but if you are unsuccessful, take one or two others with you. Go back again, so that everything you say may be recorded on your tape recorder. It may be what? Confirmed by what? 2 or 3 witnesses. We're not over yet. Verse 17 says, if the person still refuses to listen to you, then what do? Man, take it to the church. Then if he or she won't accept the church's decision, do what? Treat them like a heathen, a pagan, or a what? A corrupt tax collector. I'm going to stop right there. I can continue reading, but I'm going to stop right there. How many opportunities before us do we have to reconcile here? How many do you see here in the text? It looks like there are 3. I'm just curious to know how many of us have gone the full length, or how many of us have only done 1. We got to 1. We got to 1. Go privately and cuss them. Go privately and have a conversation, right? And if that doesn't work, then you do what? You got to take what? 2 or 3 more, right? This is in the Bible. We're reading the Bible, right? Are we in the Bible together? So if I have an issue or a problem with someone, the first thing I need to do is go and do what? Have a conversation with them, right? And then if that doesn't work, then I go grab 1 or 2 other persons. Now, we got to be careful, because we're not grabbing, and I'll talk about this in a few moments, we're not grabbing 2 other persons to go jump them. And we're not grabbing 2 other persons that will align with us. We're not doing that. We're grabbing 1 or 2 independent persons, right? So that we can try to work this thing out. But even if you go grab, say Reverend Young and Sister Nellie Smith, to go with Reverend Dawson, who's upset with somebody, and Reverend Young and Sister Nellie Smith go there to jump on the person with them. We got an issue. We got a problem, right? So we need to make sure that they are an independent contractor that we are taking. Well, if that doesn't work, then what? Then we take them where? To the church. Go to the church. Go have a conversation with the church. And prayerfully, it will be mitigated. Prayerfully, it will be taken care of by then. That's 3. Now, I believe it is the translation of I think the Message translation almost seems that it gives you a fourth, but we'll be able to talk about that momentarily. So here we are. We've just finished a series, and I'm getting ready to open up another series of conversation dealing with conflict resolution. It's how to deal with it or how to overcome conflict in our lives. This is conflict resolution, right? Because there are probably some people in here today who are probably still mad and upset at somebody for something that they did, and you either did not go or you went and it did not work out that first time. You went maybe the second time and it did not work out, and you may have even gone the distance the third time and it did not work out, and here we are today in the same place, in the same position. We're going to have some conversations as it relates to conflict resolution about how do we do it when we go. Because sometimes people go to have conversations to resolve situations and they go in the wrong spirit. They don't go with the right spirit. So here it is. Can I begin our time together, if you would allow me to, by giving you a definition that you're probably already familiar with. I'm going to put it on the screen. I want to just define what is conflict. What in the world is conflict? Well, we've got some ideas as it relates to what conflict is, but conflict is a serious disagreement or clash between opposing sides stemming from what? Incompatible interest, goals, or what? Or values. Let me say that again. Conflict is, we're talking about conflict because we want to resolve it, but we want to talk about what conflict is as we prepare to resolve conflict. So, conflict is a serious disagreement or clash between opposing sides stemming from incompatible interest, goals, or values. It can range from interpersonal disputes. Do you see that? Interpersonal disputes and what? Mental struggles. So interpersonal disputes, mental struggles. Now, interpersonal disputes is a disagreement or conflict between two or more people that arise from differences in their opinions, their goals, their values, or their needs. While mental struggles refer to a general term for challenges that affect a person's thinking, feeling, or behavior, causing distress and difficulty in daily life, in their work, or in relationships. And it even goes to what's considered to be a large-scale battles or even war when we're dealing with conflict. So conflict is a serious disagreement or clash between opposing sides stemming from incompatible interests, goals, or values. Now, while mismanaged conflict, that's another term. While mismanaged conflict can be destructive, it can also, my brothers and sisters, be a positive force for growth when handled constructively through healthy resolution strategies. I'm going to say that again because I'm going to put it on the screen, something on the screen for you in just a moment. While mismanaged conflict can be destructive, it can also be a positive force for growth when handled constructively through healthy resolution strategies. Now, let's take a look at mismanaged conflict on the screen. Mismanaged conflict, because you do know that you can mismanage handling your conflict. Amen, Walls. You can mismanage conflict. Mismanaged conflict is on the screen, is the failure to address a disagreement constructively or positively, leading to negative outcomes like, what's the first one? Damaged relationships. What's the second one? Decreased productivity. And number 3, oh, we have had some conversations about toxic environment or toxic relationships. Listen, this often occurs through, here comes the word, ineffective strategies. Because some folk resolve conflict with ineffective strategies. Here they are. Can I give you them? Such as avoidance. You ought to write down the word avoidance. And avoidance is where issues are simply ignored. There are some things that we are going through in life right now because we've chosen to ignore it and not engage. So ineffective strategy means I'm ignoring it. We got a problem, but I'm ignoring it. And the more I ignore it, the more hot under the collar I get because I'm ignoring it. I have not handled it. I'm ignoring it. I'm ignoring the fact that you did not speak to me today and you rolled your eyes at me and I did not say anything about it. I'm ignoring it. You know how we do in church. I'm just going to ignore it and let God deal with it. And what we really do is we ignore it and we get mad and hot under the collar and we're ready to cut somebody behind it. Or we're ready to give to them what they gave to us. Anybody ever gave somebody the same treatment they gave you? They gave you the silent treatment and you gave it back to them. They rolled their eyes at you and you picked their eyes up and rolled it back to them and rolled yours at the same time. Anybody ever, anybody ever had somebody say something bad about you and you turned around and said something bad about them? We did not deal with it. We avoided it. And then the issue just simply means it was ignored. Or unhealthy coping behaviors. Number 2, unhealthy coping behaviors. Unhealthy coping behaviors where people are unable to resolve conflicts fairly. I'm not going to be fair in it. So you did something to me, so now I'm going to do something even worse to you. I'm going at you harder than you came at me. Unhealthy coping behaviors. Number 2. Unlike constructive conflict resolution, which can strengthen teams, mismanaged conflict festers and it escalates. Did you hear what I said? I said mismanaged conflict, it festers and it escalates. It gets worse. You don't get better, you get worse. You might say, I'm going to let the Lord work it out and I'm going to keep on moving and ignore it. It really gets worse. It gets worse because we who are believers must be willing to follow the biblical model that we just read in the text. But there is a way to deal with it. Can I tell you that the phrase I just mentioned, it highlights the critical distinction between handling disagreements. Here's an operative word, productively. I have to handle my disagreements productively. And I have to handle disagreements productively, letting them and refusing them to become destructive in my life. So for a few moments, because I did mention it, and I'm going to put it on the screen for you, I want to define, if I can, the 3 negative outcomes above mentioned. There were 3 that I gave you. I gave you damaged relationships, decreased productivity, and a toxic environment. Let's talk about damaged relationships. Damaged relationships. Here it is. Should be on the screen. A damaged relationship is an interpersonal connection. Now, when we use the term, and I'm not trying to insult anybody's intelligence, but I love definitions. So interpersonal connection just simply means when you hear me use the term interpersonal connection, you know what that means? That means a relationship between 2 or more people characterized by communication, trust, and mutual support. That's what interpersonal connection is. An interpersonal connection is a relationship between two or more people characterized by communication, trust, and mutual support. That's a relationship. The relationship has to have communication. Relationship has to have trust, because it's hard to have a relationship with people you can't communicate with. And it's hard to have a relationship with people you can't trust. And there also has to be mutual, the operative word, mutual support. Mutual support in a relationship. So, a damaged relationship is an interpersonal connection where love, respect, and trust have significantly eroded over time due to harmful or toxic behavior. Can you see that on the screen? Damaged relationship is what? A damaged relationship is an interpersonal connection where what? Love, respect, and trust have what? Eroded. What does erode mean? Worn away. Worn away. Broke down. Over time due to what? Or toxic what? Toxic behavior. Listen, while all relationships face challenge, because they all do. Every relationship face challenge. I tell folk all the time that they want to get married and they want to come sit in the office and they're so happy they want to get married, and we're planning all of the, planning the reception, and we're going to have all the flowers and the food and we get the rings and we do all the shopping and everybody's so excited and all that. I say, hold up, wait a minute. The relationship is going to have challenges. Know that going into it. They're going to be challenges. Have you ever seen a perfect relationship? I've never seen a perfect relationship. Look at somebody and say, no, no, never. No, no, never. Not one. So I'm gonna say that all relationships have challenges. Even friendships have challenges. You don't agree with your friends all the time. Do you agree with your siblings all the time? You don't agree with them all the time. We don't always agree. They're going to be challenges, right? And so because they're going to be challenges, we're going to face challenges, a damaged relationship is characterized by a persistent breakdown of communication. I said a damaged relationship, you got to hear this because I'm going somewhere with all this great information. A damaged relationship is characterized by a persistent breakdown of communication. A persistent breakdown of communication. Operative word, persistent. What's persistent mean? Always, all the time. A persistent breakdown of communication, watch this. Secondly, intimacy. Not just a breakdown in communication, but in intimacy. I always love to use that word intimacy, because oftentimes people look at that as it relates to marital relationships and people sharing a space in bed together. But intimacy is much, much more than that. Watch this. I seek to have an intimate relationship with God. Y'all missed what I just said. I seek to have an intimate relationship with God. Can I talk about that? And intimacy is closeness. Look at somebody, say closeness. Listen, it's closeness, it's confident, and it's caring. That's intimacy. So there's a breakdown in communication and intimacy, and there's a breakdown in support. And when you have a breakdown in communication, remember, a persistent breakdown in communication, intimacy, and support, guess what's going to happen? It's going to leave one or both parties feeling, watch this, unhappy, because you're not going to be happy when there's a constant breakdown in communication, intimacy, and support. You ain't going to be happy. And you're going to be drained. Because damaged relationships will drain you. They'll drain you. And they drain you to the point where you want to cut somebody or hurt somebody. Because a drained relationship hurts you. But not just drain, but it's also disconnected. So it leaves us, if there's a persistent breakdown as it relates to communication and intimacy and support, it's going to leave one or both of us feeling unhappy, drained, and disconnected. Can I say this? Just because you're the happy one in the relationship doesn't mean that the other one's happy too. Y'all missed what I just said. I don't know how many times I've heard and been in conversations with people in relationships, whether it's couples or friendships, and they talk about how happy they are as individuals and just smiling away, and the other party is very unhappy. And they feel like as long as I'm happy, everything is good. But can I tell you something? It's never good if you're the only one happy and they're not happy. Y'all missed what I just said. I said, this is what I just told you. I said a persistent breakdown in communication, intimacy, and support leaves one unhappy, drained, and disconnected. And some people just sit in it and stew in it for years. Y'all missed what I just said. Just because folk are married don't mean they happy. Y'all missed what I just said. Look at somebody, say, he telling the truth. He telling the truth. So, I talked about, because this is going to get good, I talked about damaged relationships. Let me put this on the screen for you. Next, I'm going to talk about decreased productivity. That's second. Decreased productivity. This is going to be good, I'm telling you. It's going to be good. It's going to bless you. It's going to bless all of us. Listen, decreased productivity is the decline in the ability of those involved to what? Effectively achieve goals or fulfill responsibilities. When conflict is poorly handled, here it is, when it's poorly handled. Can I tell you what happens when it's poorly handled? Can I tell you what happens? This is what happens. Energy and focus are diverted away from collaborative tasks and problem solving. Ooh, I just said something. I said when conflict is poorly handled. And I said something a little bit earlier, you probably wrote it down. What were one of the things that we talked about as it relates to people handling conflict poorly? We talked about avoidance. There's some people who will avoid. Don't you know that amongst the others that we talked about, they have a way of taking away energy and focus. And we don't even work together to solve the problem because there ain't no energy to do it, because I just don't feel like talking to you no more. Or I don't say anything again and it continues to fester inside of me. So energy and focus are diverted away from collaborative tasks and problem solving toward unresolved tension and personal dispute. That's why some people, they get to the point where they get so upset that they want to hurt somebody. Did you hear what I just said? They want to. How many times have we seen in this crazy political climate going on, somebody's life being taken or somebody's life being threatened? Y'all missed what I just said. It's all over the place because there's so much dysfunction as it relates to how we deal with and handle relationships. Here it is. Let's talk about toxic environment. It's on the screen. Toxic environment. We talked about toxicity before. A toxic environment is a place. It can be your job. It can be your house. It can be the church. You did not know that there are toxic environments in church? Look at somebody, say, yes, it is. Anybody ever been hurt by a toxic environment in church? A toxic environment is a place, like a workplace, a church, a home, where negative behavior, watch this, here it comes. You got some church bullies. Y'all missed what I just said. You've got church manipulation. You've got church abuse. Y'all, are we together in this? Hello, lights. Hello, walls. Look at somebody, say, I know that's right. I know it's true. And we might as well tell the truth and shame who? Toxic environment is place, like a workplace or home, where negative behavior such as bullying, manipulation, and abuse undermine. I love this. This is good stuff. It undermines psychological safety. It undermines, you write it down. I don't think it's on the screen. It undermines what? Okay, can I tell you what psychological safety is? Let me tell you what it is. Because I'm using words and terms, but I need to tell you what they are because they're going to help us, right? Psychological safety is the shared belief that one will not be punished or humiliated for speaking up with ideas, questions, concerns, or mistakes. Some people don't say anything because they don't want to be hurt. So they keep their mouths closed. That psychological safety. So psychological safety is the shared belief that one will not be punished. I ain't going to be punished. I'm going to say what I need to say, and I'm not going to be punished or humiliated. But watch this. I'm also careful in how I say what I'm going to say. I'm not going to be humiliated for speaking up with ideas, questions, concerns, or mistakes. So a toxic environment is a place like a workplace or home where negative behaviors such as bullying, manipulation, and abuse undermine psychological safety and, what's the last one? Well-being. My well-being. These environments are characterized by a lack of trust. I'm going to be saying a whole lot of this stuff over and over again until we get this. A lack of trust, poor communication, high stress, and frequent conflict, which can lead to negative consequences for people. Now that I've discussed conflict, because we want to talk about conflict, I want to talk about resolution on the back end and discuss this term called conflict resolution. We talked about conflict. Now let's have a conversation about conflict resolution. I think this series is extremely important in the life of the church because conflict is everywhere. It's everywhere. But how we deal with it can determine whether it's resolved or it gets worse. So conflict resolution, it's on the screen, is what? The process of, okay, operative word is what? Peacefully. I didn't say go have a conversation, roll your neck, get mad, sweat, slobber, yell, holler, scream. Nope. We said it's what? Peacefully resolving a dispute or disagreement between what? Two or more parties by what? That what? Of one person. You didn't read that right. Let me say that. You sure you read that right? It's a process of peacefully resolving a dispute or disagreement between two or more parties by finding a solution that addresses the needs and interests of one person. I mean, what sense does it make to have conflict resolution when it's only going to be resolved by one person? But only one person is going to be happy with the results. That's not conflict resolution. That's called winning and losing. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Winning and losing. So, here it is. You know what this involves? It involves communication. It's on the screen. And what? Negotiation to what? It's not there yet? Is it there now? It involves, see how I did that? It involves communication and negotiation to reach a mutually what? Acceptable what? Okay, operative word is mutually. Both parties accepting an outcome, often using techniques like active listening, compromise, and sometimes what? Mediation. Oh, man. I mean, that's what's... only thing I'm sharing with you is what I just read to you in the Bible. Did you see it? In order for communication to work, there has to be active listening, there has to be compromise, and sometimes we got to have mediation. Sometimes you can't work it. I say this in relationships often, and you've heard me say this before, especially with men. Men folk. Look at somebody, say men folk. I know it because I am a man 100%. And I can tell you I know this to be true. Most women are more willing to go sit and have a conversation to mediate something than men. Because most men think they got all the answers. They think they know it. And I don't need to go talk to no preacher, no counselor, nobody else. All you got to do, honey, is listen and do what I tell you to do. Man, y'all ain't with me. I just knew y'all were going to be with me. If you have your husband in here right now, slap him in the face. No, don't do that. Don't do that. But it's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. I know it's true. I know it's true. I know it's true. I know it's true. Look at somebody say, it's true. It's true. So you got to have compromise, and sometimes you got to have somebody to sit with you. Somebody to sit with you. And that person has to be equal. Look at somebody, say equal. Sometimes you need to sit down and have a conversation. Don't go to your mama's house or your daddy's house. Go to somebody that's going to be, look at somebody, say fair, fair. Somebody's going to speak truth. Sometimes we need to hear that. Listen, the goal is, it's on the screen. The goal is, here it comes, the next one. Next slide. The goal is to what? To end dispute. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know if folk want to end it. Sometimes folk just want to keep doing it. Just want to end dispute. God is not the author of confusion, but I thought I had some biblical folk in here. The maker of peace. God is the maker of peace, not the author of confusion, the maker of peace. The goal is to end the dispute without violence. Is it on the screen? Without violence or animosity. Acrimony. Man, I didn't even know what that word acrimony meant until I saw that movie with Taraja. Y'all didn't see that movie. Okay, I thought you saw that movie. Listen, I said it's got to, we're talking about the goal is to end dispute without violence, because if we're not careful, it becomes violent. How do you think relationships end up being violent? How do you think it ends up with people having animosity or acrimony, bitterness? How does that happen? Because it doesn't get resolved. It gets worse. I always say, you're going to hear me, sometimes going back and forth, with couples and relationships. Man, they sure didn't have animosity when they first got together. Y'all missed what I just said. That's the clean version. They didn't have acrimony when they decided they were going to share a bed together. But it came later. And some signs were there before, but sometimes we're just so in love and I'm not going to say nothing else, that we miss out on the signs. Can I tell you something? Folk just don't get ugly overnight. Some behaviors are passed down from generation to generation. There's some folk in here that are excellent cooks because somebody taught you how to cook, your mama or your daddy or your grandmama. And you learned how to cook very well. You know how to do that mac and cheese just right. But there's some other behaviors that were passed down. Can I tell you one that was passed down to me? And I'm going to go ahead and say it because I know she's watching. I know she's watching. My mama watching. I'm going to tell it. That's it. I wasn't going to tell nobody. But I'm going to tell it today. I shared it with you before. My father was always a timely man. My father always, Sister Phil, got to where he needed to go on time. My father would be there 3 hours at the airport before the plane left. 3 hours, he'd be there. His words were, you never know what might happen. So I got to get there. Look at somebody say early. Got to get there early. He always have his military clothes ready to go the night before he went to work. Always had everything ready to go. Had it iron sharp. I mean, that's one of the things I always say I learned from my father. My father was a dresser. He dressed up all the time. So I picked that up. Just so if you look at me, blame my father. It's his fault. But if you want to blame my mama for something, can I tell you what it is? Here it is. Here go my mother going to the airport. Flight leaves at 5. She running down the terminal with 3 little boys at 4:55. I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. Me and my brother, we were just laughing about it. He might be watching right now too. He's shaking his head. Yeah, you telling the truth. 4:55. Here she is running. She running and she got 3 little boys running down there. And back then, you know, they used to open the door back up so you can get on the plane. Fool around and be late today. Look at somebody say you're going to catch another flight. Or you're going to lose that flight altogether. Only point I'm making is some things, and I'm working on it. Look at somebody say I'm working on it. There's some things that are passed down. And there's some things that we can pick up on people. That's why, let me pause for a second and say this. Y'all, you know, I always like to do this because I think I know just a couple of things. That's why I tell folk all the time, before you get married, you better sit down and talk to somebody. I'm telling you, I don't care how old or how young you are, talk to somebody. Do you know that they got old fools like they got young fools? Y'all didn't hear what I just said. And some of y'all know it. You've seen it. Look at somebody say, I know that's right. I know that's right. Sometimes them older ones are rougher. Them younger ones, sometimes younger ones can change, but them older ones, I ain't changing. I've been this way all my life. You married me and this is what you got. Oh, where are we? I done lost my place. Okay, here we go. Woo! Here we go. Is it back on the screen? Keep it on the screen. The goal is to end dispute without what? Violence or animosity. And when done well, to do what? Strengthen relationships. Because really, challenges in relationships should make your relationship stronger. Make your friendship stronger. There are some people, there are some people that you don't, that you had as friends when you were young that you don't have no more. Because they wasn't no good to you when you were young. And you found out today that they still ain't no good for you. There's some folk you got to let go. I'm trying to help somebody. Look at somebody say, we got to let go some people. Some people we got to let go. Some folk we just get, you know, they're not doing us any good. Because relationships should be strengthened. Challenges should strengthen you. Should strengthen your relationship. Here, let me put this on the screen for you. Other terms for conflict resolution. Next slide includes conflict management. Conflict management, you see it? Conflict management is the process of what? Identifying and handling disagreements. Oh, I love the word fairly. Fairly. Don't try to win. We want to be fair and what? Efficiently too. I can use the word effectively as well. To minimize what? Negative impacts and promote positive outcomes. Conflict management. Some folks just got to learn how to work with conflict management. Got to learn how to manage, because I'm looking for a positive outcome. That's what I'm looking for. I believe that in the text, Matthew is looking for a positive outcome when he's talking. A positive outcome. A positive outcome. Here it is. Next slide is what? Mediation, right? Mediation is a what? Is it on the screen yet? Whoa, 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 whoa. So let's start. Mediation is what? Confidential what? Right, where stop right there. A mutual party. But before you get to the mutual party, there has to be, you got to volunteer to do that. It's got to be a voluntary activity. And it has to be a confidential process. In other words, when you go talk to a third party, that third party don't leave telling everybody your business. Because you do know you can't tell everybody your business. Because most folk got a friend. Y'all missed what I said. Outside of you. So make sure that it's a confidential person that, and we're dealing with a neutral third party, and the mediator helps disputing parties negotiate what? A mutually agreeable resolution. It works for both people, not for one. It works for both. It works for both. It works for both. Next, what do we have? Next slide. What's next? Negotiation. Negotiation, there it is. Negotiation is a strategic discussion. Operative word, strategic. Discussion between two or more parties to do what? Reach an agreement. Am I right about that, Sister Inez? I think I'm right about that. Reach an agreement. Do what? Resolve what? Or a joint decision that what? Whose interest? Your interest. Your interest. It says your interest. It's not up there. It says your interest. Their interest. Their interest means who? Both of us. Everybody. Look at somebody, say, it ain't about you. It ain't about you. Here it is. This is what it involves. It involves a back and forth exchange of information and what? Commitments with the goal of what? Finding a what? For one person. For everybody. Everybody. Let's go to the next slide. Something called what? Peace building. What in the world is peace building? Peace building is what? The process of what? Preventing? By creating sustainable peace. Oh, operative word is sustainable. Not peace just for the night. Like Luther said, if only for one night, not for one night. Because peace might work for some folk one night to get what they want, and then the next day, they right back in the grind again. Y'all missed what I just said. Did you get it? Look at somebody say, I got it, I got it. Look at somebody say, sustainable. Sustainable peace and addressing its root causes through what? Wow. Man, this is some good stuff right here. Man, nonviolent means keep your hands to yourself. But it's not just physical abuse, it's verbal abuse. Well, I never put my hand on them. Yeah, but you beat them up with your mouth. And some people say, man, just hit me. Shut your mouth. I mean, you know what I'm saying? No, verbal abuse is just as bad as physical abuse. You ain't no good. Ain't nobody else gonna want you. Nobody wants to be your friend, don't like you. You better be lucky I'm your friend. You better be lucky I'm the only one that's interested in you. That's verbal, y'all. So you gotta have sustainable peace addressing root causes. Why did we get into this in the first place? Because sometimes this is what happens. Folk argue about one thing and then open up the gate to everything else. I'm mad at you because you didn't take the trash out. You didn't take trash out, so I'm mad. Well, I'm mad at you because you didn't cook dinner yesterday. Well, I'm mad at you because you didn't cut the grass. Well, I'm mad at you because you didn't go to the grocery store. Next thing you know, we done forgot about what the issue was in the first place. Deal with each issue at a time. Don't bring in other stuff, because at the end of the day, I said this earlier, for some people, it's about winning and what? Losing. I got the last word. So you hear them arguing from the living room, walking down the hallway, in the bedroom, still arguing. I got the last word. Oh, shut up. No, you shut up. No, you shut up. No, you be quiet. No, you be quiet. Why you say that? I don't know why I said it. Hey, they're going on. I got the last word. Turn the radio on. Got the last word. Walk out the door. Close the door. Got the last word. Not just marital relationships, friendships. Same difference. Peace building. And then I'm going to give you this next slide. And this is maybe the last one I give you for the day. It's called what? Ooh, conflict. Conflict what? You mean to tell me there's a way to prevent conflict? I mean, there's a way that we can prevent conflict? I mean, I know we have some challenges, but prevention is what? That operative word is proactive process. Some things you got to start working on before you get there. You missed what I just said. Don't wait for the battle. Be ready. Y'all missed what I said. Fayetteville is a military town. It is. It's a military town. But they didn't just go grab a bunch of folk off the street and say, we get ready to go fight. Here's a gun. Go fight. No, you have to go through what? You got to go through training, right? You got to prepare yourself for what could possibly come. So how come we do it in some places but not other places? It is a proactive what? Process of addressing disputes before they escalate into violence through early detection and the management of the root causes. That on the screen? Let me say that one more time. Let's do this again. Conflict prevention is what? The proactive process of what? Addressing what? Disputes before they what? Into what? Through early what? And the what? Of the what? Wow. You all just said a whole lot. Do you know you just said a whole lot? Wow. So, let me do this. Let me give you 6 key aspects of conflict resolution. I may not get all 6 done because my time is up. Here it is. 6 key aspects of conflict resolution consist of, number 1, see it on the screen? What's it say? Oh man, I'm gonna wear you out with this stuff. Focus on what? Peaceful outcome. Angry outcome. Angry outcome. Peaceful. Peaceful outcome. The process aims to end the conflict without what? Here we come again. Resorting to what? Violence, intimidation, or emotional harm. Focus on peaceful outcomes. It's not about violence, intimidation, or emotional harm at all. Number 2. What's number 2? Mutual agreement. No, I just have to agree. As long as I'm with it, I pay the bills. House in my name, car in my name. You got to do what I tell you to do. Ain't nothing mutual about this relationship. This relationship is mine. And if you don't like it, there's somebody else waiting to take your place. Y'all missed what I just said. Man, I felt about 10 of y'all in my spirit. Y'all, I felt you when you said, go on then. Look at somebody say, go on then. Mutual agreement. The mutual agreement, the ultimate goal is to do what? Find a what? A solution that what? We keep going back to this. I'm going to wear you out with it. All parties agree on and are what? It's not just about agreement, it's about satisfaction. You know you can come to an agreement on something and the other person be mad. Y'all missed what I said. I'm saying you can come to an agreement. You can say, yeah, we're going to agree on this. And you walk away with an agreement, but somebody is mad and they only went with the agreement just so they don't have to hear anything else you got to say. Y'all missed what I just said. And that's like that. I'm saying in not just marital relationships, that's in friendships. You've got some friends that know how to bully other friends. Man, I've seen it. I've seen people bully people and they're not speaking to people in church. Y'all missed what I said. Because you don't like them, you don't want nobody else to like them either. And so what you do is bully other people not to speak to them. Look at somebody say, that's ungodly. Ain't got nothing to do with you. Look at somebody saying, none of your business, none of your business. You be mad by yourself. Over there in that corner by yourself. But I'm not going to behave like you. Watch this. Because I'm not going to allow you to make your problem my problem. Lord knows I got enough of my own problems to be carrying yours as well. I mean, do you understand what I'm saying? So there has to be what? There has to be what? Mutual what? Yeah. And there has to be not only agreement, but there has to be satisfaction with both parties. Because once again, we can agree, but only one be satisfied. They both have to be satisfied, right? All right. I'll pick up on number 3 when we come back. Man, y'all had your cameras ready, huh? I'm so sorry. Everybody went just like this, and I said I would come back next week. My bad. My bad. I don't know. Evening Bible study might get through all 6 of them. I don't know. We've got through what, 2? All right, let me give you 3. They give one more. Yeah, this at least I can say I gave you 3. Here it is. Number 3, communication is what? Crucial. I'll talk a little bit more when we come back with that. Effective conflict resolution relies on open and honest communication. Honest. Be honest. I'll talk about that a little bit more when we come together. Conflict resolution. This series of conversation is about conflict resolution. And we're going to give you some practical principles as well as biblical texts to help us see how to resolve conflict. Man, I thought I knew everything about resolving conflict until I started doing my research. And then I started to realize how much I didn't know. Are we together? Yes. All right, so you know what I do? We're getting ready to pray. We're getting ready to go. You know how we do it. I need somebody.